it's pretty nice to have somebody to sit and talk to about things that are happening with the kids in the classroom. Like today when Cormac was, standing up for Olivia when Merrick was drawing on her paper. I didn't jump in and say anything, but he was, he was pretty strongly fighting for Olivia, and I realize I'm pretty comfortable with conflicts, and I just let it carry on. And mostly because what I know about Cormac is that he's starting to stand up for what he thinks is right.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I'm trying to figure out about that is he standing up for everything he thinks is right, or is he standing up for safety, or is he standing up for kids who don't often stand up for themselves? Like, what is his motivation? Is he just finding his voice in the classroom? Those are sort of all the questions I have about this particular piece, so I didn't want to jump in and interrupt
Right.
this standing up that he was doing.
And solve the situation for him.
Right.
And I think it really helps that our environment is set up in a way that it encourages conflict and confrontation, and it gives these children a good opportunity to practice standing up for themselves and to voice what they may feel is right or wrong, whether or not they're right or wrong.
Right.
But
Like that we didn't limit how many kids could be painting at the table, sort
right.
of thing.
Yeah, we invite, usually we'll only set out 4 pieces of paper on that little painting station, but if more kids want to come in, then we just throw in more and encourage kids to make space. And then naturally the conflict is going to arise, and somebody might voice what they're feeling, like Cormac did. And I kind of wonder, how does this play out in his home life? How does he advocate to his parents? And is it the same kind of thing? Is he advocating for safety, or is it for what he feels like he needs? And how does that play out also with his older sister? And how does that shape their relationship together?
And has he been doing it at home for a while, and he's just now comfortable doing it at school?
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing. The inspiration part, or did you already do that part?
Sort of. Well, that practice run, which was pretty good. I don't even know what I said.
Try it one more time.
Well, what was it that you said? Was it about?
You talked about whether
Not
you have a
being stressed
choice with whether to be stressed out or to see it as an opportunity to.
Yeah. And so with this particular situation with Cormac, I like to always think about, like you said, that we have all these kids in this small space and that we're comfortable with the confrontation and the conflict. And that what we know about the 2-year-olds is that we want them to become more socially competent, to be able to advocate for themselves, to be able to interact with one another in an amicable way. And when those situations arise, I feel like we have a choice to either become emotionally really a part of that conflict and by getting riled up ourselves, or to step back and support our values that we want for the children, like for them to be able to advocate for themselves and be able to listen to each other and take turns listening to each other and sticking up for one another. It's when I'm able to step back and really just be more of a guiding force than a managing force, then I feel like I don't get as overwhelmed, and I feel I can find more avenues to help support our goals with these children.
Well, especially if you consider what their motives are.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this conflict arising? What is it that they're trying to get out of it, rather than think about what it's doing to you.
Yeah, and it's that idea that we've had of what do we value and how do we see the child, and how does our role as a teacher come out of that?
Yeah, that's what I started thinking of too when you first started talking about that.
Yeah.
There are many roles of a teacher.
Yeah. And how is that helping, support what the children are working at, or even what we value for them?
Yeah. I think the next thing I want to do is, in this particular situation with Cormac too, is just keep watching and observing and, you know, see if I can learn more about what it is that he is advocating for, and is his language going to change around it, and how can I support that, and is he getting more powerful and getting louder, and have a conversation with his family maybe too, and find out
Yeah.
what that looks like at home and how that matches up with here.
Yeah, I would like to ask his sister.
Yeah.
How that looks to her.
Right.
Great. Fabulous.